Since 1993, one of the greatest platforming video games of all time went practically unplayed. Decades later, let's take a look at Sonic CD and go back on what defined its legacy. Okay, so first things first. The US and Japanese versions feature two very different soundtracks, which has actually led to a fair bit of controversy. Throughout this video, I'll be playing with the Japanese soundtrack. However, for the opening and ending, I'll be switching over to the English version because Sonic Boom is just such a great song. And speaking of openings, Toei Animation produced both the opening and ending cutscenes using a format that was unlike any other at the time. The fact that Sonic CD was 21 megabytes as compared to Sonic 2's 1 megabyte is pretty obvious by now. Also, take a look at the cutscenes and backgrounds throughout this video. The artist went nuts and it's very noticeable. This is easily one of the best looking Sonic games still to this day. Now, Sonic CD is still your standard classic Sonic game. You play as Sonic and you have to stop Dr. Robotnik, or Eggman I guess if you prefer calling him that for whatever reason, from obtaining 7 magical time stones. Yes, time stones, not Chaos Emeralds in this one. He'll conquer Little Planet otherwise. You have your standard jumps, and your spin dash actually does make an appearance in this game, although it was slightly different upon release. In the original game, you needed to charge it up for a few seconds, but in the remasters like you see here, they'll simply give you the option to make it how it was in Sonic 2. By now, I know you must be thinking, Local Alien Party, this is literally the same as every other Sonic game, except it just looks prettier. What about it? Well, I'd have you know that that's actually not my name, and also there is one major difference that separates CD from the core trilogy of games. It's the addition of time travel. Yes, by hitting a post during the level and keeping enough speed, he'll travel through time. The player can travel into the past and see Little Big Planet before Robotnik arrived, and you can see the future, where Robotnik succeeds and fully takes over. So if it's been a while since you played the original Sonic the Hedgehog, you might have forgotten that it's actually a bit genre confused. It was originally an explorational platformer where you could go fast with momentum controls. Sonic 2 would streamline things and make it more of an action-adventure platformer. It essentially doubled down on speed. Sonic CD ended up going the other way. It's much more of an exploration game. It has wide and tall open areas. You're supposed to travel into the past during the first 2 acts in order to find and destroy Robotnik's transporters. Doing so will make the third and final act take place in a good future. That means that for every act, there are up to 4 different appearances that you can travel between from just a short cutscene. Besides the background, the music will change as well. This was only possible due to the power of the Mega CD. The special stages in this game actually involve collecting 50 rings when you complete a level, and then in it, you control Sonic destroying UFOs before time runs out, similar to how it is in Sonic Mania actually. If it looks clunky and hard to control, that's because it really is. It's easily the worst part of this game that simply did not age well, especially if you went back and played Sonic Mania. It handles flawlessly in that version. If you can get all 7 time stones or achieve a good future in every zone, you'll unlock the good ending. You might be wondering by now, what made Sonic CD so different from the core trilogy on the Genesis? Well, after the original Sonic the Hedgehog's release in 1991, Yuji Naka, who was the lead programmer, got frustrated with the stiff policy Sega was enforcing back in Japan. This would lead him to move with a few members of Sonic Team to the United States to work with the Sega Technical Institute. This team would go on to create Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Meanwhile, back in Japan at around the same time, the Mega CD add-on was about to be released for the Mega Drive, and it needed a Sonic sequel that can demonstrate all of its advanced features. So this Sonic team, made up of those who worked on such classic titles like Revenge of Shinobi, Golden Axe 2, and Streets of Rage, was tasked with originally porting Sonic the Hedgehog 2 as an enhanced CD version. It would feature fully orchestrated soundtracks and animated cutscenes to boot. However, due to the poor sales of Sonic 2, this resulted in Sonic Team being able to make a brand new game. It was actually allowed more freedom due to it not being a numbered sequel. And so Sonic CD's biggest impact on the franchise was with the introduction of Metal Sonic and Amy Rose. Metal Sonic would go on to become one of the most popular villains in the franchise, right next up with Shadow. He would later return as the true final boss in Sonic Heroes and have arcs dedicated to him in all of the Sonic comics. Amy Rose is actually still considered to this day a core member of the Sonic series. She appears in numerous games and is playable in games like Sonic Adventure and Sonic Heroes. Sonic Mania would reference CD countless times. It even remastered the stage Stardust Speedway, and it remixed the Metal Sonic boss fight. Christian Whitehead, that guy you might know from Sonic Mania, well, he was a well-known indie programmer and a hacker for retro Sonic games. Way back in 2009, he showed off a remastered version of this game running on the Retro Engine, which was his own invention, by the way, on iOS. Sega would actually release this version of the game in 2011. It went on a bunch of different platforms like PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, iOS, and Android. This is the definitive version of the game. It runs in widescreen with 60 frames per second, and it features the spin dash physics taken right from Sonic 2. You can even change the soundtrack from the main menu, and it gives you an unlockable Tails once you beat the game. The 360 version of this game is backwards compatible on Xbox One. It's available for $5 a purchase, or you can download for free from Game Pass. All footage recorded comes from this edition of the game. Also, I want to point out that this game is actually free to download on all mobile devices. It's the reason why I made this video. I want more people to play this game. Seriously, you don't need to spend hundreds of dollars anymore in order to play this game. The best version is free and either in your pocket or on the device being used to watch this video right now. In a fan base that's often at odds with each other, Sonic CD is a rare exception. It's often considered to be one of the best games in the series and genre itself. This is way more than just a classic video game. This is preserving history. It's a perfect port of a retro game onto a modern platform. The fact that you can play this almost anywhere and each version runs perfectly is incredible on its own. And the fact that most people will probably never even see a Sega CD for as long as they live, it's important. That console's pretty much considered to be a failure at this point, and I don't think we'll be seeing any more consoles coming from Sega directly anyway, unless they decide to release a mini of one of them. The stage design in Sonic CD is phenomenal. This is the gateway into Sonic to understand him at his very peak of the franchise. Besides Sonic 2 and Sonic Mania, I would probably say. If you've never played this game, I highly recommend giving it a try. The sole purpose of this video is to spread positivity, and so more people can experience things that are good. This is not a super long game. It took me around 3 hours to do a quick speed run in. The platforming is hard, and there's a lot of challenges because of each act. But thankfully, each act also has the time travel mechanics, so you're essentially getting double the game if you decide to explore and see what the developers put in there. The backgrounds and the music in this game are top-notch and hold up very well to this day. And I honestly hope you guys try it out. Thank you so much for watching my first video. If you liked what you see, please like, subscribe, comment how you feel about it. I'm not going into the negatives. There's obviously going to be a glitch or two, or something that didn't age super well. But at the end of the day, I love this game, and I want to make videos that I'm passionate about. I'm also not putting ads in this because I'm not trying to get money off of this. I just really like video games. Hope you guys all have a great one. Follow me on Twitter at LocalAlienParty.